Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 34th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to check out another application of the ternary operator. What we're going to do is we're going to make a program that is going to have three integers, and we'll initialize the variables, and then we would use the ternary operator to figure out which is the largest of the three numbers, right? So it's going to be a very simple program, and it's going to be interesting though. And you can see that using code blocks, I've saved a file. I've given it the name ternary underscore part2.c. On line 1 in this file, I have my header file. On line 2, I have the main function. On lines 3 and 4, I have my curly braces. And whatever code we're going to type between the braces. And if you haven't seen the previous tutorial in this course, then I would recommend that you watch it, because in that tutorial I have discussed the ternary operator, and I've introduced it. So, I'm not going to discuss the syntax in too much detail. I would be expecting you to understand why I'm doing certain things, but it's going to be it's still going to be a very simple tutorial. So even if you haven't watched it, then it's not going to make too much difference. So let's get started. I'll declare my integers first. So to do that, I'll have to type in the keyword int, and then I'll have to type in the names of my variables. So I'm going to have three variables, as I said, and I'm going to call them a, b, and c. So a comma b comma c. Now I'll put a semicolon to terminate this statement. On the next line, I'm going to give a the value 15. On the next line, I'll give b the value 5. And on the next line, I'll give c the value 10. Right? And now, using the ternary operator, we're going to check which of these is the largest, and we would also display an appropriate message on screen using printf. So let's first type in our test condition, and let the first condition be a greater than b. So let's check which is the larger of a and b, right? And if it is a, then what we'll have to do is we'll have to check whether a is greater than c as well. Because if a is greater than b and if a is also greater than c, then we know that a is the largest of the three numbers. But if a is not greater than b, then we'll have to check which is the larger of b and c, right? And if b is the larger, then b is the largest of the lot, and if c is the largest, then c is the largest of the lot. So that's the logic, right? But we're going to have a ternary operated statement within this ternary operated statement. You're going to see what I mean by that. So a is greater than b, and then within another set of parentheses, we're going to have another set of parentheses, and in this one, we're going to check if a is greater than c or not. And I'll put in the question mark symbol, and if this condition value is true, then we'll have to print the message using printf that a is the largest. So let me first get my pair of double quotes. A is the largest, and if this condition evaluates to false, then we'll have to print that c is the largest. So again, to do that, I'll have to put in the colon and then type in printf again, and within double quotes for this printf, I'll have to type in c is the largest. Now, just to make things readable, I don't want to go too much towards the right. So the rest of the statement I'm going to type in on a new line, but I'll have to type in my colon here because this statement is not yet over. We've just covered the case where a is larger than b and a is maybe or maybe not larger than c. We haven't checked. We haven't yet made provision for, what would happen if this condition would fail. That is, if a is not larger than b and b is larger than a. So that we're going to do on the next line, and the procedure is going to be pretty simple and same as above. We're going to check whether b is greater than c. If that is the case, then we'll use printf to display the message b is the largest, and if that's not the case, then we'll have a colon here and we'll type in printf again to display the message c is the largest, right? So it's pretty simple. I'll put in a full stop at the end, and at the end of all of it, I'll put in a semicolon to terminate this entire statement. I'll save the file, I'll click on build and run, and there you go. I see the message a is the largest, and that's because a has the value 15, b has the value 5, and c has the value 10. Now if I would change the value of b from 5 to 25, then you would see that upon clicking on build and run, I would see the output b is the largest. And if I would change the value of c from 10 to 100, save the file and click on build and run, then you would see that I get the message c is the largest. So all three cases have been covered. And I know some of you might be thinking that it's much more neater if you do the same thing using if else. I believe the same, and that's why I don't use ternary operators much, because see, while you're writing your code, it would probably make sense to you what you're doing, but then when you revisit your code after some time, and if this is still a pretty small statement, you've got just one statement embedded within another, but sometimes you have a lot of ternary operator statements, and it gets pretty confusing and it's hard to debug. So it's sometimes very difficult to spot where exactly the error lies, and that's why I prefer using if else. It's easier to organize your code if you're using if else. But anyway, this was still a fun tutorial for me to make. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it, and stay tuned for updates. Please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.